The sport button is here. E6x Pre-LCI sports button installation. Got it from eBay. Like 17 pounds or something. Didn't come with the wiring, but I used the multimeter to find out what wire is what. So it turns out both white wires is the one for the center switch console. The red one is for the power and the white one is for the ground. Removing the trim, quite easy. Push the button, lift it up. Yeah, you might hit your knuckles against the button, but I already unplugged everything, so it comes off really easy. Anyway, I don't need this, so this will come off. I didn't disconnect the battery, so it will throw up some error codes, but I'm not too concerned. So, as it turns out, there's quite a lot of space in here. Yeah, that's my auxiliary switches. Looks about right. There's nothing underneath it, so it doesn't even go that deep actually. I'm gonna drill a hole in here. Then once it's done, I'm gonna install it and secure it in place. Then I'm gonna route the wires to the center switch console. In order to do that, trim needs to come off, and all this panel, everything will come off. Instead, from working from the top, I decided to go to the one side and actually do it from the underneath, so I can see the clearances. And I'm gonna use the drill bit to drill to make a hole. Yeah, a bit of downside if you do it from the other side. See the edge? It's sheared off. Hopefully the button is gonna cover it. If not, I will still have to get a new trim, because this one, well, it has seen better days, so I'm not too worried about it. After a lot of cursing, I managed to get those wires underneath the ashtray, and they end up here where they're supposed to be. Got a lot of wires everywhere. Half of the center console is gone. But anyway, the sport button is here. I have switched with 4 different wires coming out of it, and 2 white ones. One of them goes to pin number 8, and the other one goes to pin number 10, and the red one in 9, that's the power. I have a black wire here, the 4th wire, and I just need to ground it somewhere. Right, so the sport button is installed and it's working. Even the light is on. The sport mode is displayed in the screen whenever the button is pressed. The same switch can also be installed on LCI models, but it's instead of center switch console. It will be located in a glow box just behind the fuse box itself.
and the pin configuration will be slightly different. So one of the wires would go to pin number 7, and the other white wire would go to pin number 9. Power for the LED would be pin number 8, and ground wire, the white one, in my video would just go to the common ground. For a sports button to work properly, you need to do a little bit of coding. For pre-LCIs, the modules involved are SGM and KMBI. And values that you need to change, let's say in Combi, would be, you need to either look for a sport. No, my bad. It's a FDC that you need, because it just displays the sport. So FDC ID monitor, you need to activate it, so enable it. And also FDC verbot, you need to set it to active. At the moment in here, there's no check marks because I'm not connected to the car. I'm just showing you what needs to be activated in order to work it properly. On LCIs, it will be the same, but I've seen a couple of posts online saying that whenever they install the sports button, it's not showing up on the instrument panel. So this would be the reason why it's not showing, because you would need to activate it. I haven't heard of any of the problems on the pre-LCI model, so it should work straight away. But the other module that you need to code would be the SGM module for the pre-LCI. And what it basically is gonna do is it's stiffen up the steering wheel. I've read some posts online that it doesn't work for everybody, so I'm gonna show you what to do in case there's no resistance in a steering wheel. So the first thing you need to find is FDC and enable it. And then there's only one option here. So just enable it, otherwise it's not gonna work for a pre-LCI. And then you need to find a sport, right? So speed values in sport mode and current values in sport mode. It definitely works if you set it to value 1, but the steering wheel would be really hard to turn. It feels like it doesn't have a power steering at all. So, but it's up to you. If you want to know if it works or not, just enable vert1 in both of these, in current values in sport mode and speed values in sport mode. Don't touch the current values in comfort mode, that's the normal mode. So the sport mode is only activated whenever you enable the sport mode. And but every car is different, so you will need to find out what works better for you. So generally value 1 is the stiffest one, and if you go down you will see that there's a the different meanings to these values, but I would recommend that you stick to whatever it says E60 or 61. For example, vert4, E63, E64 is not really meant for E60 or E61. So different values here, it's for different models, but you can always experiment with the values, and if you save the backup file, there shouldn't be any problem. And in my previous video I explained how to make a backup and also how to default reset the module according to the vehicle order. So if you mess something up, it shouldn't be a problem. And this SGM is for pre-LCIs, but for LCIs, what you need to do is go to KGM, because it's a newer model, and then it's the same thing, but in here I don't think there is a FDC option. Yeah, there isn't. So the only thing you can change is the sport values. But see here, it's different. It depends on the software version of your car and software version on the module. So for example, if I choose KGM5 instead of 2, if I find for sport, there's a lot more values here. So you need to experiment on your own, what works and what not. And yeah, regarding the coding wise, I read online that for LCI models, verse 2, 3, and 6 works the best, but whenever you have a NCS dummy connected to the car, well, your computer is connected to the car, and the check marks will show up, and once you change something, some other values will automatically will be enabled. So I think if you click on value 2 on the LCI model, also the value 3 and value 6 will be activated. So but it's up to you to find a perfect match, how you want a steering wheel to be. So that's about it. That's coding done. Right guys, that's it.